Hi, Kendra. How are you?
Hi.
Hi, it's so nice to finally meet you. How's your day so far?
It's pretty good. It's going.
Good. I really like your name, by the way. I think that's a really, really cute name. So,
Thank
Kendra, I am actually glad that you're here with Callie, your caseworker.
you.
Callie, it's nice to meet you as well. It's nice to put a face with the phone interview that we did. So I'm glad you guys are both here. I think it's super, super important that Kendra has all her support people in place so that way we get a better treatment idea. Okay. So, Kendra, can you see my screen right now?
Hmm.
Okay, so on this screen, it's a bunch of big words. It's just a big form called a consent form. So it is my responsibility to go over this with you. That way you understand kind of what therapy is, what our goals are. We're not going to go into detail about the goals itself, but we are going to talk about the agreement that me and you have, okay, along with your caseworker. So she's aware of what kind of services you're going to be receiving from me. And this is also me just welcoming you to my practice and also explaining to you what is in this consent and what you are agreeing to every time you meet with me, okay?
Okay.
All right, so in the scenario that you have any questions, feel free to stop me at any time or feel free to answer whatever you want. This is the time for you to really understand what it is that we are doing, okay? So for
Okay.
the beginning, it's called a client counselor service agreement. Okay, so meaning I'm the counselor, you're the client, and what it is basically explaining that all your information every time you meet with me, even when you don't meet with me, it's going to be private. So all of this is considered your health information, which is called HIPAA, and it's a law from that I need to keep that private. Okay, as well as your protected health information. So all of this includes all of your rights. It includes all of like your name, your date of birth, like all the personal identity stuff, and more. So everything that we talk about, everything we document, it needs to be private. Okay. So it's important that you know that. That way you feel safe coming to me and understanding that I'm not going to be sharing this with anybody. There will be some limitations to that, and I'll explain further along how sometimes that can be broken, but I will go into detail in the future, okay? All right, so on the bottom, over here, it's going to explain some of your rights. We're going to go over every single one of them, and basically, we're going to go over everything that pertains to the treatment, like I said before. So, my responsibilities and responsibilities that you have to do while you're being seen by me. Okay, so this type of relationship, we're going to build some goals. There are some goals to counseling. So, like I said, we're not going to go into detail today, but I will let you know that why people even go to therapy, like what is the goal. So, most of the time, you can build what's called long-term goals and short-term goals. So, long-term goals can be anything from, changing your whole life, your quality of life, or even wanting to practice mindfulness, actualization, which you'll learn more about that. But it is basically just something you can work on for a very, very long time. And it brings a lot of benefits in the long run. Short term goals, maybe you're just wanting to work on something more not so in depth. So maybe like you're having some symptoms like depression or anxiety. You want to learn how to have healthy relationships. That can be more of a short term thing. Or maybe you just want to learn how to change certain things, certain behaviors that you're having that you would like to work on. So that is what counseling is. That is the goal. And again, if you have questions about that as we go through treatment, you're more than welcome to ask me. Okay.
Okay.
So with counseling, there are some risks that happen. So, for example, some unpleasant memories. What that means is that we are going to be digging deep into maybe some things that you don't want to talk about, some memories, maybe some bad emotions will pop up in our sessions, and that is totally okay. That just means you're healing, and basically that is a risk that I do have to let you know that happens. In therapy is where we want you to let out all your emotions, negative and positive emotions, and that is how you're going to learn how to cope with them as well. Okay, so that brings me to the benefits. So when you let out some of those bad memories and you are risking your emotional health with me sometimes, this will help you improve the quality of life. None of it is guaranteed, Kendra, so just wanted to let you know that. But for the most part, my hope is that you do get the best out of counseling. You can learn how to manage your anger, and also basically learning how to live in the present moment instead of what's going on in the past, what happened in the past, or what we can go into the future too and see. That is how we're going to create our goals and see how you can better change your way of living. Okay. All right.
Okay.
So that is counseling in general. So let's talk about, first of all, do you have questions about that, like counseling in general?
Counseling. No, not yet.
Okay. All right, so appointments, Kendra, it's important that your caseworker, Kelly, is aware of this too. So we originally will be meeting between 50 to 60 minutes once a week. And for the most part, that will be a rhythm. We'll choose a specific date and time that you're free. And then as we go further along, my hope is that you're starting to feel better, and maybe you just want to see me once a month, or you want to switch the rotation. Maybe you're not feeling better and you would like to see me a little bit more, we can do that as well. Okay. So the only thing about appointments is I really would want you to let me know 24 hours in advance. If you need to cancel. If you don't let me know 24 hours in advance, basically that means that you're still going to be required to pay for the session. And unless there are some circumstances that you cannot change and you couldn't let me know 24 hours in advance, we can dig deep into that and see what happened. And we both have to agree that we're more than welcome to cancel or anything like that. But for the most part, you're still going to be responsible for the fee. And I'll go into fees and all that later in the meeting. Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
please, another thing, Kendra, please show up on time at our scheduled meeting, because if, for example, if we're going to be meeting at 1 o'clock and that is our original scheduled time, and we're going to end at 2, but if you didn't hop on Zoom until like 1:30, that we're not going to go till 2:30. We're going to go until 2. Make sense? Okay, so you do miss time, and I would really want you to get the best benefit from your session. So please try to just make it on time, just for your benefit. Okay, I'll still be on there, but only for the time that we scheduled.
Okay.
Okay, so confidentiality, this is really important. So it is my responsibility as your caseworker, social worker, to make every effort to keep your information private. This includes the whole HIPAA that we talked about. This includes your rights. And right here, we'll go a little bit into detail about limitations. So what that means is there are times that if you disclose to me directly that you are having maybe some harming behaviors, anything that is any behaviors that I feel like are not making you safe, I do have to let your caseworker know. That way she takes accountability of what's going on, and we keep you safe. Okay, so I do have to let her know that you disclose that to me. It's not just the it's not just risky behaviors, but let's say you're having like suicidal thoughts and stuff like that, like we can definitely, I would have to break that. Okay, but I will come to you first to make sure that you're aware that that's going to be broken. And in another case, it's if we are in court order or subpoena. So if the court asks me for anything in that nature, I am required to let them know. Okay, so just to let you know of where that gets broken a little bit. Okay, and this also includes any type of abuse that you might be experiencing since you are a minor. Okay, all
Um,
right. Any questions? Yes.
yeah, I have a question. So, like, will my foster parents, like, will you tell them, like, stuff that I tell you, or like my caseworker stuff that I
Mm-hmm.
tell you?
Right. That's a great question. Thank you. So yeah, that kind of goes deep into what I was explaining. So, meaning no, I'm not going to go and share with your caseworker or anybody really what we're talking about. This is your treatment. So that is where I protect your rights as a patient, even if you're a minor. However, the time that I will break that, the only thing I will break is if you tell me that you are not safe in any form. Okay. Or if somebody is harming you in any way, like abuse, or if you are doing anything to anybody else, then I will let them know. But you will be aware of that.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So group therapy, as we go along for the in future sessions, we're going to go over a treatment plan. I'll explain that in a little bit. And that is when we're going to talk about all of your goals, okay? What you are wanting to do. In group therapy, it's an option for you. It's basically just people that are all together. We're all basically doing therapy together. So when we do that, I am letting you know with this consent that you are risking confidentiality. So, meaning I can do my part and make sure that everybody in that group, whatever we say, stays between that group. But if they go and share other things, that is the risk that you are taking by taking that service. Okay. I can remove them from the group so that they are violating that rule, but it is something that you are putting yourself at risk if you do decide to do group therapy. Okay.
Okay.
All right, so telemedicine and technology assisted counseling. So what we're doing right now is literally telemedicine where we meet electronically. The same applies when we are in person, but for the most part, this is in addition to the agreement, meaning that there are a little bit more of risks when you do meet through Zoom online. And I'll go over that. Okay, first thing, we're gonna talk about the benefits. So, meaning this reduces the stigmas of obtaining mental health services. So it's a little bit of, mental health has a big stigma, but for some reason, Zoom and electronic services reduce that a lot. It's a lot more convenient. So, meaning you don't have to drive to my clinic, you just hop on Zoom. It's a lot faster and easier because you don't have to wait like in a waiting room or anything for hours until you get called out like a regular doctor. But with me, you just hop on Zoom and you go straight into your service. Okay, so no wait time. And then basically, we reduce costs. So like you don't have to do transportation. You don't have to worry about any of that and you just basically show up. Now the limitations is basically a little bit of a downside to meeting in telehealth. So this just means that hey, I cannot read your full body language because I can only see from chest up. I cannot see or assess fully your whole environment, your body. So that just means that I'm probably going to be asking you a lot more in detailed questions to better assess you, to better help you. And with that being said, I can only control you can only control your environment. So if there's anybody around you that, I do recommend that you meet with me when you're alone. But if there is anybody around you that is your risk of confidentiality, every time you meet with me, we're only going to be, I'm going to be alone and there's not going to be anybody listening. So I do recommend that you try to find a private area and that you put some headphones on so that you can protect your information. Okay.
Okay.
So this is also explaining that technology might fail. That's the other downfall about it. So meaning if we get disconnected, there will be some breaches, and we'll talk a little bit about that. What happens if we get to that point? Okay. But this is just means that you are signing for that you understand um, all the technology part about it when it comes to getting treated. Okay, this is the same thing as if we were in person, so the same applies. So the way that we're gonna go about it, the logistics is I do have a platform called Simple Practice, and this is where you're going to see all of your sessions scheduled. This is where you're gonna be receiving my Zoom links. It is totally protected, um, and this is basically just a safe platform for you to be able to connect through Zoom with me. Again, I recommend you use a headset every time you meet with me, so that way you get a good quality of your sessions. Okay. Okay. All right, so right here, let's talk. So what happens if we get disconnected over phone or video? So the same applies to both of them. If we get disconnected over a phone session, keep in mind I will call you back 3 times. My hope is that you answer, and then basically we'll just hop back on the phone and make sure that we continue with the remainder of the session. So if basically you lose connection because of your end, because your battery died or you didn't charge your phone or anything like that, you didn't get bad reception, basically you're still going to be charged for my session. But if it happens on my end, then I will call you from a different number to, it might be blocked, so make sure you answer, okay? If this happens over video, if we lose service over video, if it's on my end, I will still be online and attempting to, still connect. So I'll still be available. But if it happens on your end, um, you can basically either call me or we can reschedule a different time. Okay?
Ooh.
Yes.
So like, mm, like if I can't get to you on your phone, can I like hit you up on Snapchat or Facebook or like Instagram and stuff like that? Because I have all of them, like I have to get like I always have to be on top of what's going on.
Yeah, social media is big, right? I wish we could, but we can't, Kendra. And I really am happy that you asked me that question because I do get that a lot. Basically, what I cannot meet with you outside of our scheduled meeting time. That is more of like a personal thing. And yeah, that's just our policy, okay? But again, I will be available through phone and email, so I'll let you know how you can get a hold of me. Um, and then that's how we're going to just talk, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So, as you know, we're going to be in telehealth like this. So, you cannot record or screenshot any of our meetings. Okay. That is not permitted. So, payment of services, this is just to let you know that the payment is due the day that you meet me. Okay, and this pertains if we ever were to meet in person, it's the same thing. I only practice in Arizona. This covers the in-state jurisdiction section. So if you move out of state or anything like that, I cannot treat you in a different state, but I will, do my best effort to make sure that you are connected with a different therapist. Okay, so this goes back to again the cancellation. Please let me know 24 hours in advance if you need to reschedule or cancel. You need to let me know by this is the way to communicate with me by phone, email, or text, and that's all protected. Okay, all that. So please go ahead and just let me know about that. Okay, again, the biggest part about that is that if you do not cancel within 24 hours, I'm still gonna charge the session. Okay. All right, so over here, we need to add an emergency contact for you, Kendra. Keep in mind whatever person you put in here, I possibly can connect, call them, connect with them in case you are having a crisis or in case you are in danger. This person will be contacted if you don't answer.
Okay.
So who would you like to put for that?
I'll put Kelly, my caseworker.
Okay, Callie. Okay, Callie, what is the phone number? What is Callie's phone number?
It's 520 uh 315
Mm-hmm.
6612.
Okay, and you can see my screen on that, right? Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes? Okay, everything looks good. And you said this is your caseworker, your state caseworker. Okay. Okay, awesome. Thank you. All right, Kendra. So again, keep in mind that if in the scenario that you are, going through a crisis or you're in danger in any kind, or other people are in danger because of you, I do need to call 911. And if I don't, we both agree that 911 will be called, whether it's on your end or mine, and we will take you to your emergency local room, emergency room hospital, and or we can always contact the National Suicide Hotline. So please feel free to write this number down right now, this one and the Maricopa Crisis Line. So it's that number and this one right here. Let me know when you're ready.
You said both numbers?
Yes.
Alrighty.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions so far?
Mm, no, not yet. I don't think so.
Okay. All right, so moving on, this is just signing, giving me consent that you do agree that we are going to be meeting through Zoom or telehealth. Everything we talked about, the benefits, the limitations. If you do, I can go ahead and put today's date and that you and your caseworker give verbal consent.
Yes, I consent. And Kelly says yes.
Perfect. Okay, so verbal consent given by caseworker, guardian, and clients. Awesome. And keep in mind, I will be sending you a copy of this. If you'd like, would you like me to send you a copy? I couldn't hear you. Can you say that again?
Oh, yes,
Yes.
please.
Okay, I'll send you a copy and I'll let you know how I'm going to be sending you information to keep it private. And
Okay.
that way you have a copy of this and you can go over this at any point given time. Okay.
Alrighty.
So this brings me to the next point of record keeping. This is exactly how I'm going to keep record of our stuff. It's going to be good for 7 years. It's going to be kept electronically on a USB flash drive or maybe in a paper format, but it will be stored in a cabinet in my office. So nobody will be able to take a look at your records or anything like that. However, if you ever allow anybody to have um, records of this, let's say you want like your foster parents or anybody else that is not your guardian to keep records, maybe a teacher or anything, you're more than welcome to sign a release of information and send that over to me. If that doesn't get signed, then I cannot share any information with you. Okay, so I will be staffing your case maybe with other professionals, just to make sure that I give you the best treatment and they are supervising my work. Other than that, nobody else will be in touch of your records, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so professional fees. So as we discussed, I will be letting you know how much it's going to cost. And this goes for Kelly as well, so she's aware as to how much the pay will be. Keep in mind if the debt does not get paid, I can use an attorney or a collection agency to make sure that the payment goes through. Okay, this is if you don't pay. And let me see. Okay, so down here we have all of the fee schedules. There is an option to have a sliding scale fee, but I do need proof of income from that, from pay stubs, and this probably is something that your caseworker will work on you on, and we can change that. But other than that, this is our fees, my fees.
Okay.
Okay. All right, insurance. So this is all information about your insurance. Keep in mind some health insurance policies will cover, most of it, and then some of them will require like a copay. It just depends what insurance you go through, but if you do have an insurance where you still required to pay copay, you are responsible for the rest of the copay the time that we meet. Okay? So if you cancel some keep in mind that some, like I said, I still have to charge, but some policies will not refund that money. So, like to you and stuff. So, just to let you know. Okay, so some of them don't do reimbursement for cancellations, and you have to make sure that they are going to cover my services as a form of out of network provider, because that is something that they look into. But we'll go over that in the future to get more information. But that is basically what that explains. Okay. Any questions so far? I know it's a
Mm,
lot.
yeah.
No? Okay. All right. So this is the way this is the best way you're going to get in touch with me, is probably through email or text, because I will be with other clients, and I won't answer through telephone. So that is just the way I give my clients the best service. So when we are on the Zoom, I am not going to be answering anybody. I hope you're not on your phone either. So this is just, to show respect. But you can leave a voicemail in case I am not answering, and I will be returning your call. It may take a day or two, but if you don't hear from me, please call 911 or crisis number that we talked about in case you are in danger or you really need help in that moment. Okay?
Okay.
Um, this bottom part just talks about your email. If you give me your email address, that means and you sign for it, that means you're consenting that I will send you newsletters, tips, and tricks on how to cope with certain things, just information, education that might benefit you, um, just to educate you on wellness and stuff. And if you give that over to me, that is, how I can send that over to you. But this is completely optional. So do you want to opt out of that, or do you want to provide me with your email?
Yeah. I'll give you my email.
Okay, go ahead. What is it, Kendra?
It is Kendra dot Ken yeah, at Gmail.
Gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so down here, I will be required to get your name, your signature, your date of birth, and the day that you signed this, as well as your guardian. So, meaning that would be your caseworker, Callie, if she can sign, and then the date. And then once I get that back from you, I will sign and date this as well. So, I will be sending this over to you so you can sign it. Once all signatures are on there, I will send you a copy, and that's pretty much it. I mean, next time that we meet, we are going to talk about an assessment. Basically, it's called a biosocial psycho assessment. What that means, it's just a bunch of questions. I will simplify that when we meet. It's just a better way of me understanding your case, what you've been through, what you want to share with me, and it's just a better way of me getting to know you. And then after that, we will have a treatment plan session. So what that means is that's when we're actually gonna sit down, go over your goals, see what you want to work on. I won't make up the goals for you. That's something that you have to do, but I will guide you. I will help you through it. And my goal is to help you reach your own goals. Okay. So that's kind of how this is gonna work. Do you have any other questions?
I was gonna ask about the email. Can I get like tips, maybe like I don't know, just other stuff to kind of help me with like how I feel or how to, get better.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for asking that, Kendra. So, yes, that is why I have your email. Basically, if you ever change emails, let me know as well. And this is something that this is a good way for me to communicate and educate you on tips and tricks. Maybe during our session, we talk about, what you're going through and how to cope with it. But then, like, days go by and you don't remember how what we talked about. I can always send that over to you as well, or maybe evidence-based articles that you can read as to how to cope with what you're going through. So
cool.
yes. Okay. Any
Okay.
other questions?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Alrighty. Kendra, well, thank you so much. Again, I look forward to working with you. And again, you're more than welcome to reach me, call me if you have any questions between now and our second session. Okay, it's so nice to meet you.
It was nice to meet you too.
All right, I'm excited. I hope you have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Thanks. Bye bye.